Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so good to be with all of you with the sun shining through the windows. It feels like it is spring at last. Spring has sprung, not only because when we look outside and we see the flowers that are blooming on the trees and in the bushes, but we all have the experience of watching this young woman, watching Mia, come of age within her Jewish community. And it is a joy to celebrate with you, Mia, and joy to celebrate with your family and your community, as we are all here to support you. And so when you look around this room, you see friends and family and those who stand with them and with you. And I know that it is something that will give you a great sense of support and goodness in your life. We are going to welcome each other by turning to the words of Hine Matov, which is a prayer, a blessing, also a section of our Torah that reminds us how good and how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters, when siblings can dwell together in peace. So let's join together in singing Hine Matov. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. So moments ago, an ancient and beautiful tradition took place where Mia had the talit of tradition, this beautiful prayer shawl that she's wearing on her shoulders, placed on her for the very first time by her mom and dad in the presence of her grandparents. And just as your grandma bought you this talis, may you wear it in good health and much happiness. And it's a reminder of all of the values that have been held up so beautifully by members of your family for generations, and now they're being placed upon your shoulders. And in your Siddur, in the blue prayer book that you have in front of you that you can read in, that runs from right to left, on page 88, there's a text there that reminds us that when we fulfill certain obligations and take on new adult responsibilities, there's not only a reward in that it brings sustenance and goodness to others, but there's an intrinsic goodness to them that is in itself rewarding. And it's meaningful that Mia is going to read this ancient text on our behalf.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, and accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Because it leads to them all. We are now going to turn to an interpretive Ashrei reading that is a part of our afternoon service. And Mia is going to lead us in the Ashrei. It's not, you can't find it necessarily in your books right now, this interpretive reading, but she's going to lead us in it. Ashrei Oshrei Veintecha, Od Yehalelu Hasela.
Ashrei Am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Am Shadonai Elohav.
Hine nai, here I am, ready to begin my journey as an adult within my Jewish community. Standing here today, I recognize the generations that stood before me. I have learned of their heartbreaks and their joys. I have learned of their challenges and their triumphs. Now, the Torah is being passed to me, and I am ready. I am the next link in a sacred chain of tradition, and today I say before friends, and today I say before family, Hineni, here I am.
V'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. We now turn in our Siddur to page 224. That's page 224. and Mia is going to lead us in the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'yama divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'imivru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavarach le'alam u'al me'al maya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shmei dekudasha brechu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yama v'imiru. Amen.
We rise now together as a community as we turn to page 226 for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatatitach ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imachot, Umevi Gula Livnei B'nei El, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Zrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atarav Le'Choshiach, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofeh Holim, Umatir Asirim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memid Umechayeh, Matzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'em Lanata L'Chachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
We continue reading responsively on page 231.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good and not evil.
You are the source of life and blessing. Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling. Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in death as in life. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good.
For blessing and not for curse, for life and not death, for abundance, not want.
Baruch
atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב ירי לווייך, וקרא זה לזה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר, שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך יושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. We read responsively at the bottom of page 235. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands, we give praise. For the peace in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For the gift of Shabbat, which renews us for life, we offer blessing. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael. Yisrael amnecha karov lechol kore'av penei elavadecha v'chaninu shuvach ruchacha aleinu v'techezena einenu b'shuvecha l'tzion. Berachamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Shechinato
As we turn to page 239 for our prayer of gratitude, we recognize that we have so much to be grateful for on this beautiful afternoon. The sun has come out for us at last. Mia is becoming an adult member of our community, taking her place with her peers and with all members of the Shalom community and Jews all around the world. And it's so wonderful to see all of you here gathered together to support her. So we are grateful for all of those things and so many more. We'll read responsively at the top of page 239. For the gift of our souls, for the promise of our lives, for all we are and all we might yet become, for the creative seeds sown within our minds whose nurturing can yield a grand harvest. For all these gifts we thank you, O God, and pray that we prove ourselves worthy. May our lives be ripe with the fruit of compassion, sweetly sustaining those in need. May we use our gifts wisely and with love, true messengers of blessing to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki Atohu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Ki Atohu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amecha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We now take a few moments for silent prayer.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimromah. Say shalom aleinu ve'ol kol Yisrael
Now my joy to call upon John and Susan Deneve to step forward as they are going to read the 121st Psalm. You got an applaud.
I love that. All right, Psalm 121. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he will watch over Israel, never slumbers or sleeps. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord stands beside you as your protective shade. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon at night. The Lord keeps you from all harm and watches over your life. The Lord keeps watch over you as you come and go, both now and forever.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful and meaningful scriptural passage as we turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service, which can be found in your Siddur on page 244. And Mia knows that one of the highlights of our service is when we take the Torah and march it around to the congregation, as she will do. It's a symbol that the Torah and all of its beautiful values are not something that we just keep up here for the officiants, but its values are something that is for all of us. And as the Torah passes by, there's also a tradition of reaching out with a prayer book or with your tzitzit on your talis to touch the Torah with maybe your hand as well, and then kissing it afterwards. So you may do this as well when Mia passes by. But it is a great honor to pass the Torah from generation to generation. It's a great joy to call upon Vicky and Mike Wolin to step forward. And I know that we're also thinking of Ken and Uksuk, who I know that they couldn't be here, but I know that they are watching and that they should continue with much strength, and they are missed. And we call forward Brian and Sarah to stand up on the bima too, alongside Mia and Caleb. You'll stand next to your big sister as well. It's also a joy to call upon Liam Landon and Lily Lanning to step forward as they have the honor of opening up our ark doors. And once again, we turn in our Siddur to page 244 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah, and as a community, we rise as we greet our Torah scrolls.
Im kamocha v'Elohim Adonai ve'en kamasecha malachutecha malachut kol amim umemshatecha b'chodor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Adonai uz lamo itein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom ki mitzion tetzeh Torah ki mitzion tetzeh Torah udeva Adonai mirushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Lamo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Zot HaTorah, Mia, as you well know, this is the Torah, and found within it are all of the values that have been held high for generations by your family. The values of being upright and strong, kind and just, and being fun and funny and wonderful. It is a joy to pass this Torah from the generation of your grandparents. to the generation of your parents. And now Mia is being placed upon your shoulder where it should remain with much health and much happiness. We turn now and face the congregation as we recite the watchword of our faith, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadolul Adonai Tiun Romama Shemo Yachtav. Lecha Adonai Hagevula Hagevura Bativeret V'hanei Tzavehod. Ki chov hashamayim u'va'aretz, Ki chov hashamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha'mamlacha, v'habina aseh lechol rosh. Ki chov hashamayim u'va'aretz, Ki chov hashamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha'mamlacha, v'hamina aseh lechol rosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilu chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilu chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Ramoma Adonai Ramemu, Ramemu Adonai Ramemu, Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. V'hishtachavu le'har kodsho, v'hishtachavu le'har kodsho.
You may be seated, and it's my understanding that there may be some people here who have never been to a bar or a bat mitzvah before. If it's by chance the first time you've ever been to a simcha like this, if you've never been to a bar and bat mitzvah and maybe never had the opportunity to see a Torah scroll, we'd like to invite you up to take a look at it so you can see exactly what Mia is reading from, not you guys. I know you know. But if you've never had the opportunity to see a Torah scroll, we would love to call you up so that you can have the opportunity to see what Mia is reading from. And we'll tell you the story of this Torah scroll because it really is a beautiful and meaningful one, challenging one as well. Mia, you can stand with them. So this Torah scroll is one of, and you can stand much closer if you like. This Torah scroll, come on over, guys. If you've never had the chance to see it, it's nice to be able to take a good look at it. The Torah scroll is over 130 years old, and it comes from Poland. And we teach this story about the Torah scroll each and every week in which we have a bar and bat mitzvah. Don't worry, it's not going to bite you. You can come a little closer. The Torah scroll was much loved by the community that would gather around it and would learn from its wisdom. And there was one gentleman that was a part of this community that particularly loved this Torah scroll. Well, as the Germans amassed upon the Polish border, this man had a sense of what was going to happen to the Jewish community. So he hid the Torah scroll away. And sure enough, when the Nazis entered into Poland, which initiated the Second World War, they came to his community and took all the Jews there to concentration camps and death camps, like they did in all of the communities across Poland. The man who hid the Torah scroll away was taken to Auschwitz-Birkenau, where life expectancy was a matter of days, if not hours. But that man managed to survive there, and who knows, he must have witnessed unspeakable horrors. But when the camp was liberated, he returned to where he had hidden the Torah scroll away. And he brought it back to what was a very small surviving remnant that continued to meet in what used to be such a glorious Jewish city of Warsaw. But when that community, that remnant, became so small, when they moved to places like the United States and Canada and Israel and Western Europe, they decided that they would send the Torah scroll away. They would send it to the United States. And that's when Congregation Shalom learned about it and brought it here to Milwaukee. And the purpose of it being sent to the United States is that a Torah is meant to be used, especially by young people, so they can grow with a sense of spirituality and enable the spark of liberty and freedom for all humanity to be kindled and continued. And that means that when Mia carried this Torah scroll and when she's going to read it amidst our community, it represents not only the hard work that she's done and how she's been able to learn from Torah, but it represents how every young person, no matter their race, their ethnicity, their nationality, their religion, can be a source of light unto a world that so often feels like it's filled with darkness. And so it is so meaningful that all of you are here supporting Mia on this day, and you're going to see her read beautifully from this Torah scroll, which is no small accomplishment. And it, like I said, it is meaningful that all of you are here to support her. So thank you so much for being up here with her, and thank you so much for coming to take a look, and wishing you all a mazel tov on this very special occasion. There you go. You guys can all go back to your seats now. There you go. There you go.
We will be reading this afternoon from Parashat Naso. You may notice that Mia is reading a part of the Parsha that people often don't read in these settings. When we were talking early on about her Torah portion, there are a number of things that happen in it, but one of the things that happens is there is a very peculiar ritual that is described for the case of a husband who suspects that his wife may have been unfaithful. There's an elaborate ritual they're supposed to go through to try to determine what has happened. And I mentioned this early on to Mia, and she decided to take hold of this really interesting ritual and make an interpretation of it that's very much her own. So that is what we'll be reading this morning. We're going to be, if you have a Chumash by you, we have these Hertz Chumashim. So if you have one, this has the English as well as the Hebrew of what's being read. And we are starting on page 560. Yes, on page 560, or I'm sorry, page 590. Page 590. So if you want to follow along in the Chumash, we'll be starting at verse 17.
And Rabbi Abby is going to be our first Torah reader. It's a joy now to call upon dear friends, to call upon Gabby Gurovich, Serafina Schneider, Sadie Halpin, Nora Nellis, Hannah Chertkov, Yael Baralski, Mirit Stein, and Lorelei Cox. Yamod Sarah Esther, Noah, Caleb, Moshe, Aaron, Lana, Chana, Elisha, Bat, Rav, Noach, Lior, Abatia, Mirit, Kineret, Bat Shalom, Uvraka, Leah, Ayala, Ben Leah, Tzvia, Yitzchak.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. V'lakach hakohen mayim kedoshim bichli charas umin ha'afar asher Adonai bekarka hamishkan yikach hakohen v'natan el hamayim v'ha'amid hakohen et ha'isha lifnei Adonai ufara et rosh ha'isha v'natan al kapeha et minchat hazikaron minchat knaot hu uveyad hakohen yiyu me hamarim hama'arim v'hishbia ota hakohen v'amar el ha'isha im lo shachav ish itach v'im lo satit tuma tachat ishech hinaki mimei ha'marim hama'ararim ha'ela.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Yesher koach to all of you. Come stand next to me on my left side. It's amazing to see the choir that's up here. So join now to call upon dear friends, Lauren Berger. I'll stand here too. I'm on that list too. Ellie Gettinger, Mitch Nellis, Tony Davidson Levenberg, and Jonah Levenberg. Ya'amdu Lior Abatia Bat Yosef Lev Halevi V'Fredo Fega V'Harav Noach Ben Zelig V'Chayet Zvia V'Elana Bat Yoshua V'Batia V'Moshe Aaron Ben Chaim David V'Ilana Zipporah Bat Moshe V'Devora V'Yonah Ephraim Ben Yehuda V'Rachel Halevi.
Three, two, one.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Amen. Ve'at ki satit tachat ishech v'chi nitmet vayiten ish becha et shechavto mibaladei ishech v'hashbia hakohen et haisha b'shvuat ha'ala V'amar hakohen la'isha yiten Adonai otach la'ala ulishvu'a b'toch amech b'tet Adonai et yirichech nofelet ve'et bitnech tzava ובאו המים המארים האלה במאייך לצפות בטן ולנפול ירך ואמרה האישה אמן אמן.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher koach to all of you. You can come stand on my left side. And they say that a community that reads Torah together stays together. It's a joy to call upon Yaakov to come forward. Yaakov Shmuel Yonah ben Baruch Moshe Kohen and Tehillah Cohen to step up alongside Yaakov. And they are going to be our third Torah readers, but we turn to our third Aliyah as we call forward, dear grandparents, as we call forward Vicky Wolin and Mike Wolin. Yamdu Vidchalati ben Manalea v'Nechamya v'Michael.
It starts with Katav.
Yeah, but it ends with Amen,
Amen. I'm looking for that.
Yeah, me too.
You're the rabbi.
It's always good to take a moment and think of those who are in need of healing, those who are in need of a refuat nefesh or refuat guf. And particularly in our hearts and minds, we're thinking of Steve Toplinsky, Fern Drescher, Gershon ben Avraham, Pesha Bluma bat Esther, Ezrael ben Rivka v'Shlomo, Mark Kleinerman, Miriam bat Rachel, Rachel bat Devorah, Shira bat Velva v'Malka, Yisrael Mordechai, Deanna Duker, Rachel Zaram, Ronald Ryder, Barbara Gorski-Jacobson, Dick Miller, Leah bat Velma, Stuart Willis, Carrie Zimmel, Keith Mandel, Carolyn Newman, Kelly Adiniak, George Grimm, Patrick Hepe, Gary Elderbrook, Carlene Fox, Ray Cormier, Daniel David Ben-Meor, Nahama, Chana Loyo, Brett Stock, Joyce Paulson, Richard Gralton, Philip Meckler, Eileen Staller, Ruth Beck, Dina Batsasha Rachel, Howard Sosoff, Lawrence Frazen, and Debbie Harris. If there are names that should be added to this list or names that should be pronounced differently than I did, I invite you to hold those names in your heart as we turn to these words of tradition. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Tzariv Karachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim Im Refuat Nefesh Im Refuat Guf B'toch Shar Chulei Israel Bashta Bagalau Vizman Kariv and Omar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah bring blessing and healing to all who suffer. May the Holy One, blessed be God, restore them to health and vigor amongst all others who are in need. And let us say Amen. We turn now to our Aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'kadmanu mikol ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. V'katav et alot eile hakohen b'sefer umacha el mei hamarim v'ishka et isha et mei hamarim amarim uva hamayim amarim lemarim v'lakach hakohen mi'ad isha et minchat haknaot והניף את מנחה לפני אדוני, והקריב אותה אל המזבח.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher koach, and you'll come stand on my left side. And now it's a joy to call upon Mitch Thunder Ellis to be our next Torah leader. And we call forward for our fourth Aliyah. We are calling forward Brian and Sarah Deneve, dear parents. Ta'amod Sarah Chanabat Vidchialoti.
Also, if you'd like to follow but you've lost track of where we are because it's been a little while, we're on 591 now, and we are at verse 26.
Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. V'kamatz hakohen min hamincha et azkarata v'hiktir hamizbecha v'achar yashket haisha et hamayim v'hishka et hamayim v'aytaim nitma'a v'tim'o ma'al be'isha uva hamayim ha'ma'orarim lemarim v'tzifta v'itna ונפלה ירחה, והייתה האישה לעלה בקרב עמה, ואם לא נטמעה האישה, וטהרה היא, ונקותה ונזרעה זרה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ta'amod ha-bat mitzvah. Ta'amod Nechama Davida Bat Brian V'Sarachana. It is with great joy and with great fanfare that we call forward Mia Deneve as she becomes a bat mitzvah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Zot Torah Hakanaot Asher Tisteh Isha Tachat Isha V'nitma. O ish, asher ta'avur alav, ruach kina v'kinei et ishto, ve'e'emid et ha'isha lifnei Adonai, ve'asa la hakohen et kol ha'torah hazot. V'nika ha'ish me'avon, ve'ha'isha ha'i Tisa et avona. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mia, turn to your left. Give your mom and dad and Caleb a big hug and a kiss. You all deserve it. You know, Mia, when you first stood in front of this Torah, when we had your first bat mitzvah meeting, I remember standing here and asking you if you noticed anything different about this Hebrew or what's written and the way it's written in this Torah from what you were more used to. And you surprised me because I expected you to say, oh, there's no vowels, but you immediately turned to the crowns that were on top of the letters. I don't know if you remember, but you said, oh, look, there are crowns. And it was a beautiful, observant moment that you had because, and I mentioned to you that the crowns, there are some explanations for them, but they're somewhat mysterious. But what we do know is that the crowns lend a sense of beauty and a wonder to the text. It makes the text even more beautiful. When I look at your mom and dad when they're talking about you, and when I look at all of the values that have been written on your heart by your mom and dad, and then I look at you and I look at the way they look at you, you're like the crowns on those letters of the writing that they're writing for you and for your brother. There's something absolutely beautiful about the way in which you live your life and you conduct yourself. And that is a beautiful reflection of what you just read and also what you notice. And I know that you notice a lot. And to be able to notice the beauty in this text, even when it's difficult, and we're going to be teaching a lesson about what you just read in just a moment, to find meaning in it, that is extraordinary. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on uplifting the Torah. Keep on being the crown in the hearts of your parents as they write those letters of their wisdom upon you. And always, always remember how extraordinary you have conducted yourself in this moment. It's now a joy to call upon others who are going to lift and bind our Torah scroll, to call upon Ryan, Ariana, Julia, Skylar, and Lily Wolin, who are going to step forward and lift and bind our Torah scroll. We rise now as we lift and we bind our Torah.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. Yalalai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yalalai yalalai. Yalalai, yalalai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yalalai, 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 lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai.
You may be seated.
We're turning now to the Haftarah. And if you're wondering what is a Haftarah, the Haftarah for any given Torah portion is a selection from the book of prophets that has some kind of thematic relationship to the Torah portion. In this case, the connection is actually something that is not exactly what Mia read. There's a part in the Torah portion that talks about what it means to be a Nazirite, to be somebody who dedicates themselves to special restrictions as a way of showing special piety, special love for God. And so the story that is told in the Haftarah is also a story of somebody becoming a Nazirite in a very unusual way. So we will hear now that story from Mia.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim b'ratzav v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo uv'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Vayehi ish echad mitzara mimishpachat hadani ushemo manoach v'ishto akara v'lo yalada v'yera malach Adonai el ha'isha vayomer eleha hinena et akara v'lo yaladet v'harit v'yaladet bein. There was a certain man from Tzorah, of the stock of Dan, whose name was Manoach. His wife was infertile and had borne no children. An angel of God appeared to the woman and said to her, "You are infertile and have borne no children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Now be careful not to drink wine or other intoxicant, or to eat anything impure. For you are going to conceive and bear a son. Let no razor touch his head, for the boy is to be a Nazirite to God from the womb on. He shall be the first to deliver Israel from the Philistines." The woman bore a son, and she named him Samson. The boy grew up, and God blessed him. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol hadarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber u'mkayim, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatat lanu Adonai Eloheinu likedusha limnucha. Lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi chai tamid leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. That was beautifully read. We are now going to return our Torah to the Ark. It is my honor to call upon Sarah and Ben Stockwell to come forward to open the Ark curtain. I would invite everyone else to please rise as able as we return our Torah to the Ark. Behold, a good doctrine is given unto you, forsake it not. It is a tree of life to all who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba, v'tov mecheha meushar, deracheha darchenu oam, v'chon nativoteha shalom, hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, chadish chadish yaminu, chadish yaminu kekedem.
You may be seated. And now Mia is going to share these words which she has prepared on the occasion of her becoming a bat mitzvah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion is Naso, and it comes from the book of Numbers. In my Torah portion, it talks about a ritual called the Sota ritual. This ritual includes a priest, a man, and his wife. The man would bring the wife to the ritual when he suspected she was being unfaithful to their marriage. First, it would start with the priest writing down a curse on a piece of paper in ink. Then, the priest would put that paper along with a bit of dirt from the tabernacle floor into a glass of water. The ink would dissolve into the water, and the wife would drink it. After drinking the inky water, if the wife was guilty of the act, she would become distorted and distended. If nothing happened, she was found to be innocent. What I found interesting in my Torah portion was, first of all, the fact that if you drink slightly dirty and inky water, nothing's going to happen to you. So why have the woman drink it? One possible explanation is that having a woman accused of adultery drink it is a form of protection for the woman being dragged to this ritual, since we know that drinking the water won't really cause her belly to swell or to become distorted, whatever that means. It's a way of forcing her husband to accept that she is innocent and protecting her from what he might do if he thought she was guilty. More importantly, I think this portion is describing something that would only happen in a bad relationship. Why would a husband resort to this ritual when he could just talk to his wife and trust that she either didn't do anything wrong or would tell him the truth if she did? A husband who brought his wife to this crazy ritual instead of talking to her about his suspicions would clearly have no communication skills and no trust in his wife. So if you're looking for a handbook for how to have a good relationship, don't go to this portion for help. I think this portion means something to me as a bat mitzvah because as you get older, you need to be able to decide whether whatever relationship you have is a good one. Just like when my mom says to keep or sell for all my things. You either keep it and cherish it, or you move on from it. Or, in other words, sell it. I think having good people in your life around you is something important. I thought this was a good opportunity to tie in a Korean phrase I found. 좋은 사람들을 곁에 두면 좋은 일들이 생길 거예요. Translating to, if you have good people around you, good things will happen. I thought that this phrase matched well with what my portion is about and is a very true statement. The people in your life can affect everything, so it's important to nurture them. For my mitzvah project, I decided to donate feminine hygiene products to a domestic abuse shelter called Sojourner Family Peace Center. I picked that as my mitzvah project because it ties in with my Torah portion about bad relationships and not having good people in your life and ways to change it. This organization helps people in bad relationships to heal over time. This connects to my Torah portion about helping people with bad relationships. There are so many people here I'd like to thank for helping me reach this moment. I want to thank my family first, my mom, my dad, and my brother, especially for having to live with me, but also for supporting me every time I need it. And to my brother, thank you for being so annoying that I forgot what normal life is without you constantly coming to my room and singing your Benson Boone songs from the top of your lungs over me yelling at you to get out. To my friends at MJDS, thank you for being with me these past 8 years. To my outside of school friends, thank you for listening to my drama and telling me yours. Thank you to my school teachers and bat mitzvah teachers for helping me prepare for this day. I also want to thank my Grammy, Grampy, Harmony, Grandpa, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Thank you, Grammy, for all the desserts you make every holiday that we end up taking home, and for loving me no matter what. Thank you, Grampy, for always quizzing me on math and prayers, even if I don't want to. I appreciate it. Thank you, Harmony, for cooking amazing dishes and always being one of the first faces I see when I wake up at your house. Thank you, Grandpa, for your love of sweets and how you taught me the act of sneaking sugar into already sugary cereal. Thank you to all my older cousins for helping me grow up. Thank you to my younger cousins for being chaotic and funny at the same time. And thank you to the cousins my age for being like best friends to me. Lastly, thank you to everyone here today for supporting me. Thank you, and I love you all. Shabbat Shalom.
Wow. We don't usually get applause like that. Way to go, Mia. Now it's a joy to call upon Sarah and Brian, who are going to share words of love for you, and maybe they'll get thunderous applause as well afterwards. Here, Mia, stand right here.
Definitely a tough act to follow, so we'll do our best. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mia, we are so proud of you today as you take this leap into becoming a bat mitzvah. Seems like just yesterday you were in 2K, starting your Jewish journey at Mequon Jewish Preschool. Little did we know then that that would become the start of our family's Jewish journey. We were not especially active in the Jewish community back in Madison, but once we experienced the feeling of such a tight-knit community at MJP, it led us to Milwaukee Jewish Day School and then here to Congregation Shalom.
There were a couple of years when you were younger that no matter what class you took in the Milwaukee area, at 3 different places, you somehow gravitated toward your tribe, literally. For example, downtown at Milwaukee Children's Youth Center, you were in a choir with dozens of kids from all over the city and suburbs. Like a finely honed instrument, your Judar detected one of the only other Jewish kids in the class, who was also of Korean heritage.
Mia, this is a testament to your ability to find connections and read people, which has only grown. Last year, doing school conferences, we were especially interested in hearing about how math was going, as it was your least favorite subject. I think you get that from your father. But what really stood out in that meeting was the teacher saying, so much of the class is centered around you, Mia. You set the emotional tone. You are the bridge between different people and class dynamics. If you're off, others become off. If you're focused, others can dial in too. She said, Mia, you're the quiet alpha. So we've heard this from other parents who see that quality, whether it's when you're engaging with their kids or teaching them K-pop dances, some of which in the audience you might see a little later in the party.
Most recently, Mia was elected Mensch of the Month at MJDS. For those who don't know, Mensch is Yiddish for a person of high integrity. Sorry, I can't read it over there. A good person. MJDS gives this honor to students who exemplify characteristics of being helpful or kind, and the honorees are nominated by teachers. When we asked Mia what she did to win the award, her answer was, great, I don't know.
Perhaps it was one thing, or perhaps it was a few moments of kindness that teachers noticed. Nothing stood out to Mia. It was just her being who she is.
We see this in this loving relationship you have with your brother Caleb. You were only 4 when he was born, and you have been every bit a protective big sister, funny friend, even sometimes acting like a mom, which is okay. We're so proud and thankful of the loving relationship the two of you have. So we're going to follow your lead and offer a few thank yous now. Thank you to so many of you in this room who contributed to the upbringing of this young Jewish woman before us. It truly takes a village, and we couldn't have done it without the generosity and contributions of so many. Each of our friends who provided a beautiful aliyah earlier have children who are already b'nai mitzvah, and to have their experience to lean on has been so very valuable. Thank you. As a non-Jew, my dear friend Yaakov Cohen has long been a beacon to me in providing guidance and answering questions that I've had as I've done my best to learn about the faith of my wife and children.
A huge thank you to my mother, also known as Grammy, Vicki Wolin, for your support always and in helping to make this night truly special. Thank you also to my cousins Neve Turman and Neil Coleman for jumping in to help us provide memorable moments that we'll see later on. And in putting it all together, thank you to the Mitzvah Mafia. You guys know who you are. Thank you to our families who, despite being miles away, we still managed to share wonderful moments and holidays together. This time we get to visit, the time we get to visit means so much to Mia. Although I like to think that we instilled this value, it also is probably just who she is. While I just referred to the family we were born with, we made lots of family along the way. We're thankful all of you made it too.
Say a thank you to Congregation Shalom, all of the staff and leadership, Rabbi Noah, Rabbi Abby, cantoral soloist Megan Guterman, who had the beautiful voice earlier, for your guidance and leadership in this journey. Thank you to Mia's religious school friends for giving her a reason to get out of bed on Sunday mornings. And of course, we thank the teachers and classmates at MJDS.
It's fitting your Torah portions focus on relationships, as you teach us about relationships almost every day. While we often hear about how mature you are and the ceremony recognizes your Jewish adulthood, remember being young is a time for fun. So now it's time to be silly, let loose, and celebrate all of your hard work. Can't wait to see those K-pop dance moves. We love you and are so proud of you. Shabbat Shalom.
You got one too.
Love you, baby.
So Brian and Sarah, I'm going to ask you not to take a seat just yet. And Mia, I want you to stand next to your mom and dad. And Caleb, if you would join them as well in standing. All of you have had such an extraordinary hand in making Mia who she is. And grandparents, if you would rise as well. And aunts and uncles and cousins who are here, if you would stand. So all of the friends that we call family and the family that we call friends, all the friends, if you would rise as well. And community that stands together, we recite a blessing that has been on the lips of family for generations as they've watched their young people become bar and bat mitzvah. Let's join together in the Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, who has sustained us, and who has brought us to this very special moment today. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Mia, you are amazing. In your Torah portion, Naso, there's one of the oldest and most beloved blessings in all of Judaism, Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. You've heard it a number of times. You're going to hear it soon as well. May God bless you and protect you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift God's face towards you and grant you peace. And for thousands of years, these words have been spoken over Jewish children by parents and grandparents, filled with hope and love. They're whispered on Friday nights, recited at weddings, spoken at moments exactly like this one. And perhaps the reason these words have endured so long is because blessings help us recognize something sacred that is already standing before us. and we sense that sweetness. But even though they're handing out the candies right now, I want to ask you not to open them, because in a little bit they're going to be throwing them, but don't do it just yet, okay? So I know that standing in front of everyone like this, Mia, is probably not the most natural thing for you. But one of the wonderful things about you is that beneath that quietness is this incredibly funny, thoughtful, warm person who surprises people once they truly get to know you. There's a spark in you that comes alive through humor and performance and creativity. I've seen you act in plays. You're a wonderful actor because you understand people. You notice them. You pay attention to emotions and feelings and connection. And that same sensitivity is what makes you such a deeply caring friend to so many people. You're nurturing towards the people around you. You instinctively build others up. You compliment people sincerely and naturally. You make your friends feel seen and valued. Some people walk into a room trying to draw attention to themselves. You have a very different kind of presence. You quietly make the people around you feel stronger and more confident and more included. And that is an extraordinary quality, especially for your age. And it didn't emerge from nowhere. You come from a family filled with warmth and kindness, humor and generosity of spirit. Sarah and Brian are such dear friends to Lauren and me, our whole family. They're the kind of people who make life richer for everyone around them. Sarah is constantly thinking about others and planning for them, creating joy for them, making celebrations feel even more beautiful and meaningful. She adds to the simcha wherever she goes, and Brian carries this deep thoughtfulness about the world. He genuinely cares about people and about making life better and kinder and more compassionate for all of us, for his neighbors and the world beyond. When people know your parents, it becomes very easy to understand you, Mia, because the goodness that lives within them shines through you too. There's also something especially beautiful about the way you carry both your Jewish and Korean heritage with such natural grace. And those identities do not compete within you. They complement one another so beautifully. They deepen your sense of family and tradition and culture and belonging. In you, there is this lovely weaving together of histories and values and memories, and our community is richer because of it. Your Congregation Shalom family is proud of you. Your MJDS family is proud of you. All of us feel so lucky to watch you grow into the person that you're becoming. And then there's Caleb. You're so reserved, Caleb. I don't know why you're so shy. He is such a force, and there is such energy and spirit in him. And one of the beautiful things about your younger brothers is that even when they pretend not to be watching, they're always watching. He's learning from you, Mia, every single day, learning from your kindness, your humor, your gentleness, your friendship, and your strength. He's lucky to have a big sister like you, and you're lucky to have someone who will walk beside you through life with all that love and spirit and chaos that little brothers bring into the world. Mia, one of the things that made your teaching today so incredible is that you did not take an easy Torah portion and make an easy point. You took a difficult Torah portion and found within it a lesson about trust, communication, dignity, and care. That is real Torah. You helped us see that relationships should be built on kindness and honesty, and that when people are hurting, our responsibility is to help them find safety and healing. And that's why your Mitzvah project is so meaningful. By collecting feminine hygiene products for Sojourner Family Peace Center, you turned your learning into action. You saw the pain of people trapped in an unhealthy or unsafe relationship, and you responded with compassion. That's who you are. You notice people, you care for people, you help people feel less alone. The middle line of the priestly blessing says, "May God's face shine upon you." But I've always believed that holiness does not only shine upon us, sometimes it shines through us. Mia, it shines through you already, through your kindness and through who you are. And all that brings us to the final words of the blessings. May God grant you peace. Peace doesn't mean a life without difficulty. It means becoming the kind of person whose presence brings comfort and goodness into the lives of others, the kind of person who helps people feel safe and valued and loved. You are already becoming that kind of person. So my prayer and my hope and my wish for you is this. Always remember the sweetness of this moment, surrounded by people who adore you and are so proud of you. Never stop bringing your warmth, your humor, your compassion, and gentleness into the lives of others. Never stop building people up or letting your light shine through the quietness. And when the cantorios, when Megan and when Rabbi Abby and I bless you in just a moment, may you hear those ancient words not only as a prayer for who you'll become, but as a recognition of who you are already. For God has brought you to this moment. May God always keep you in good health, in much happiness, and with joy. Mazel tov, Mia. Now, Mia, I get to say some words that are just for you to hear, and then Megan and Rabbi Abby and I will have the opportunity to bless you. May God bless you and keep you.
May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you.
May God always smile upon you, Mia, and bless you with God's choicest of blessings, the blessing of wholeness, the blessing of peace, the blessing of shalom. And let us say, Amen. We are now going to turn to the concluding sections of our service as we turn to the Aleinu. Aleinu can be found on page 282. That's page 282 in your Siddur. And it's a joy now to call upon Nicole and Darby and Neil and Sam Coleman and Ada Margolis and Neve Turman to step forward as they have the honor of opening up our ark doors. We rise now as a community as we turn to these sacred words and we join together in the singing of Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoy ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gol aleinu kacho hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתגעים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא
We remain standing now as we think of dear ones who've passed into life eternal, those who've passed from this earth, who we've loved and lost. Particularly in our hearts and minds, we are thinking of dear ones for whom we mark the period of Shiva. We think of Vera Boyko and Ben Jones. In addition to those names, we think of those for whom we mark the period of Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period. We think of Howard Chapman, Debbie Dallett, Ellen Cabins, and June Curzon. And we also think of these dear members of your family, Mia, who I know are still smiling down upon you with the same love and affection that they did in life. We think of Mona Coleman, Neil Coleman, Marie Deneve, and Ray Deneve. And if there are names that should be added to this list, or you're commemorating the yahrzeit of a loved one, or any names that should be pronounced differently than I did, please do call those names out loud as I look in your direction. Marna Snipman. In addition to the names of our loved ones, so too do we think of all those who've died due to war and or terrorism, all those who died in defense of this nation and allied nations' ideals. On this Memorial weekend, we particularly remember those who died in defense of our country. We think of all those who died due to the terrible viruses of racism and xenophobia, as well as all those who perished during the Holocaust. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. The Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294. We read these sacred words together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach Yeruteh v'amlich malchuteh, v'chayichon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach leolam ulamei amaya. Yit barach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'tromam v'itnaseh. V'itadar v'italev v'italal shmei dekudisha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. You may be seated. In our tradition, we learn that those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, which is why we always turn from sadness to joy. And it's a joy now to call upon Karen D'Amico, who is coming forward to step forward on behalf of Milwaukee Jewish Day School, who's going to be presenting some gifts to you, Mia. So you can come on up here if you'd like, so that Karen can give you those gifts. Karen, it's always a joy to see you and to share the bima with you.
Thank you so much. Hi. You did an absolutely beautiful job. I am so proud of you. I am so honored to be here from Milwaukee Jewish Day School to present Mia with a couple of gifts. Not only am I honored to represent the school, but I feel a very lovely and close connection to the Deneve family. I had the great privilege of teaching Mia for 2 years. I have the great privilege of being Caleb's current teacher. So I adore you and your family. We are so proud of you. You did a beautiful job. It has been such a joy to see you go from a first grader when I had you to the beautiful young lady you are now. So a couple gifts from the school, a mezuzah from the staff, and a menorah from your 7th grade class. Mazel tov. There you go.
And Mia, we have some gifts for you as well. First of all, we have this certificate attesting that you have indeed arrived at the point of becoming a bat mitzvah. You get to be one for the rest of your life now. So, and this is lovely for framing, should you want that. So here, have your certificate, and then also we have a few other gifts. One gift is in partnership with the Jewish Museum here in Milwaukee. We have a book called One People, Many Paths, A History of Jewish Milwaukee. It's really an extraordinary account of the story of Jewish Milwaukee. So this is for you to learn more about your Milwaukee Jewish heritage. And the other gifts we have for you are a pair of vessels, and they both have the beautiful distinction of being vessels that the more you fill them up, the more it also fills you up. So one of these is a Kiddush cup, a symbol of joy, and the other is a tzedakah box for you to fill and use those funds to protect people in need. As we already know, you know how to do and have been doing, and I'm sure will continue to do. So please accept these on behalf of Congregation Shalom, and your hands are full, so I'm just going to set them over here for you. Congratulations.
All right, everyone. I heard the candies getting passed around. And yes, I can hear them crumbling now. So I'm going to invite you all to stand. And Mia, and you know what, Brian and Sarah and Caleb, why don't you come onto the bima as well so you can have the joy of being showered. Now, we gently lob those in just a moment. And when we do, we're going to let all of the young people, after they throw or gently lob that candy, showering Mia with that sweetness, then you can come up and take some from the bima. Let's join together in our closing hymn for this Shabbat, which is Siman Tov and Mazel Tov.
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, 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 U'lecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, U'lecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, U'lecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, U'lecho Yisrael.
Mazel Tov, everyone. Please join us in Clearfield Hall. Mazel Tov.